Look at this. Google Analytics shows that I got more than 2,000 unique website visitors every day for free to a brand new website and in less than 2 weeks. So how did I do this? Well, let me tell you, it didn't happen by accident. It happens when you implement the right strategy, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Welcome to ProfitCopilot.com. Mick Meaney here, and today you are going to learn how to get instant website traffic from podcasts without needing to appear on them as a guest or having to create your own content. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, I've also compiled everything you need to do this into a single downloadable PDF document containing all the resources and even done for you templates that you need to make this work. So head down to the description and get them now. You don't even have to opt into anything. And also, if you like the sound of that, I think you will love the free bonus that I have for you at the end of this tutorial. And that will show you how I got over 30,000 website visitors every day for free. Again, there's another link in the description. Okay, back to today's lesson. You see, I stumbled upon this free traffic source really by accident. So let me tell you a story, because one day I noticed that I had a lot of traffic coming from a website that I was not familiar with. It was actually a podcast website, and the thing is, I had not appeared as a guest on that podcast. I didn't pay for advertising, and in fact, I was a little bit kind of freaked out that I was being mentioned on some random podcast without my knowledge. Well, it actually turns out that they just read part of an article that I'd written, and then they were linking to that article in the show notes. So that got me thinking about the power of podcasts and how we can use them for traffic gen. So I started sending relevant news tips to other podcasts in my niche, and sure enough, they started mentioning and linking to my website. And then I realized that most of these podcasts are actually desperate for content. Think about it. They have to fill up hours and hours of airspace every week. So it makes sense for them to welcome you as a source of reliable and credible information. So this is how the strategy works. There's only 3 steps that we really need to take. So step 1 is to find water cooler moments. These are things and news and events and topics in your space that people want to talk about and they want to share. We have to find those. And then step 2, we have to put our unique twist or a hook or an opinion or even an angle onto that content so it's relevant to our target audience. And then step 3, we have to promote that content to these podcasts. It's really that simple. So let's get down into it. So step 1, what we're going to do is find content. So I'm going to show you a few websites that I use to find this type of content. So one of my favorite all-time websites is feedly.com. This curates content from all around the internet. So here you can see I've got different lists available. So every time websites in the marketing space publish new content, it gets indexed here and I can see it. So if you want to track things like keywords or even Reddit conversations, click on this plus icon to new source. Now you can add in websites manually. If you have a list of websites that you want to track, go ahead and add them. Chances are they're probably already in Feedly. It's also a good idea to add your own, so you get more traffic that way too. But it allows us to track other websites through the RSS link, through topic, and we can go to keyword alerts. So we can put in relevant keywords here and then track content as it appears. We can track Twitter feeds. Now this is an upgrade option. You do have to pay for a premium option, but it allows us to track Reddit feeds for free, so we can follow subreddits or niche-based conversations and really find out what our target audience are talking about, what they're concerned about right now. And we can use that as inspiration for content. And we can add newsletters. Again, that's a premium upgrade there. So we use Feedly to curate content. We can also use Twitter. If we go to Twitter, we have this feature here, which is lists. And all we have to do is just put in relevant Twitter accounts that we want to follow. So we can use their conversations as a source of content too. So this really allows us to tap into the content that other people are sharing and creating, and bring that into our website and craft a story based around that. I'll show you how to do that in a second. It's really easy. But we've also got Reddit. So you can go to communities, put in your keyword here. Again, we've got a bunch of groups and subreddits that are relevant to your topic. So let's say we want to explore content marketing. If we dive into that, so what we can do is hit hot, and that is going to show us timely content that people are really interested in right now. So we know that our target audience will respond to that type of content. So we can use that as a good starting point. We can also structure it to new or to top. Now, if you go to top, I recommend you go to either today or this week. Don't go any longer than that, because we want to make sure that the content that we curate from is timely and relevant. So step 2, once we've curated our content and we know the story that we're going to share, we have to credit or link to the original source. So this means absolutely giving credit where it's due. However, we want to pull traffic to us. In order to do that, we have to add a twist. Something that is going to make sure that this piece of content is absolutely relevant and important to our target audience. So all we do is take a small portion of the content that we're curating, perhaps a paragraph or a few key points. We publish those on our website in block quotes, link to the source. Then we add a strong headline, and then we state why this information is important to your niche. And then we need to frame it with our angle. So if you want to see really good examples of content curation, take a look at BuzzFeed. They curate content from all over the internet, and they bring lots of it from Reddit. So they tap into Reddit on a near daily basis. They do the process that I've just explained to you, and then they republish that with their own angle. So take a look at BuzzFeed. It's a really good example of content curation done right. And BuzzFeed also source from their own community. So that means you can too. You can join this community and use that as a source of information too. So then we move on to step 3. Next, we have to promote our content. So to do this, we can find relevant podcasts on places like iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. But I want to show you how to get even more podcasts to reach out to. I'm going to give you a template that you can use that will make it easy in a second. But first, let's go ahead and find some podcasts that you can promote to. This is a website called listennotes.com. It's going to give you a list of trending topics already available for you. However, we can dive down into a specific niche. So I can type in marketing. It's going to give me a list of suggested topics. Now we can choose the best marketing podcasts, or we can go down to a deeper list of suggestions here. So let's go with marketing. And these are all the podcast episodes that focus on marketing. We might want to go to podcasts, go through all of these. We can go to curated lists, which are pretty handy to use. We've also got playlists and interviews. Now, I recommend that you go with curated lists and podcasts. We can also structure the data by relevancy or date. However, if you choose date, it will ask you to upgrade to a premium version. You don't need to do that to use this platform. So what I recommend you do is target podcasts that have been around for a while but are not particularly well known or the big names in your industry. So The big podcasts are getting pitched left, right, and center by people using a similar strategy to this. So you want to go for middle to lower level podcasts. Don't worry about that so much, because you're still going to get traffic, and more importantly, you're going to get relevant, high quality backlinks from the show notes as well. We've also got player.fm that will help you to find more podcasts too. And when you have your list of podcasts that you want to reach out to, this is a template to use. So I have added this to the description. It's a free download. Go ahead and grab that, and it will allow you to copy and paste this template. This is exactly what I used when I reached out to podcasts. So this is the exact template that I know works. Now you will have to adapt it and modify it a little bit to make it relevant to your niche, and that's okay. Now this is a conversation starter. This is going to open the door for you to get that dialogue going. So it's basically a handshake. You're introducing yourself to these podcasts, saying, this is what I intend to do. Now, don't worry if you don't get a response immediately. That's fine. Most podcasts are getting pitched all day, every day. Most influencers, exactly the same. So don't worry if you don't hear anything back. The magic really happens in the follow-up. So maybe a few days later, a week later, just send a little reminder. Say, hey, reach out to you. Just thought I'd touch base to see if you actually received this email. And here is a follow-up. So now you can start the process of sending them links to your content. So you've introduced yourself, you have followed up, and now is the time to say, well, here's what I've got. Now notice in each of the templates that I'm including, we are not really linking to your website. I actually add that as a note here. Do not include a link to your website in the first email. That is because it might well trigger spam filters, and we want to make sure that we get to the inbox. So on the very first email, no links. Mention your website, tell them the name, do not link. And we always close with your name and your phone number. There's a reason why I include my phone number. It's because it builds trust. Chances are they're not going to pick up the phone, they're not going to call you. However, you give them that option, so it proves that you're a real human being behind this email. If they have any queries or they have suggestions for you on how to submit content, they will probably just hit reply and send an email. But we do include a phone number to build that trust as well. But the really important thing with this strategy, just like any other marketing strategy, is that we have to be consistent. We have to do it on a regular basis and stick to it. Because when we are consistent, you can achieve amazing results. Take a look at Matt. He's one of my students, and he has made over $2 million using my traffic methods. And if you want to know the secret and you are serious about building a popular and profitable internet business, then of course you need more traffic, because traffic equals money. So I'm going to give you the secret traffic methods that I never share on YouTube or anywhere else for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic. Click the link in the description or the thumbnail on screen now and get that free training course. Now, if you found today's tutorial useful, give it a thumbs up below, subscribe to the channel too, and hit that little notification bell so you never miss an update from me, and I will hopefully see you again very soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.